In this video, we shall follow the journey of a monk as he reflects on the Buddhist principles of impermanence, compassion, and mindfulness, illustrating how these teachings can be applied to overcome personal challenges and cultivate inner peace. In the serene mountains of a distant land, where the mist kissed the peaks each dawn and the rivers whispered ancient songs, there stood a monastery known for its tranquility and teachings of Buddha. Among the monks who resided, there was a young man named Kavi. Kavi had entered the monastery at a tender age, seeking solace from the turmoil of the world outside. His heart yearned for peace, and he found solace in the teachings of the Buddha. Under the guidance of the wise abbot and the senior monks, Kavi devoted himself to meditation, study, and the practice of compassion. Lost in contemplation, Kavi was suddenly jolted from his reverie by a faint, distressed chirping. Startled, he followed the sound and discovered a small bird lying on the ground, its delicate wing twisted at an unnatural angle. Kavi's heart swelled with compassion as he knelt beside the injured creature. Gently cradling the bird in his palms, he whispered words of comfort, feeling a deep kinship with its pain. Without hesitation, Kavi resolved to care for the bird until it could fly again. Returning to the monastery with the injured bird nestled in his robe, Kavi sought the advice of the senior monks on how best to aid the creature's recovery. Together, they fashioned a makeshift nest in a secluded corner of the monastery garden where Kavi could tend to the bird undisturbed. Days turned into weeks as Kavi devoted himself wholeheartedly to the bird's care. He meticulously prepared nourishing meals of seeds and fruits, gently massaged its injured wing with healing herbs, and kept a vigilant watch over its progress. Through this act of nurturing, Kavi found moments of profound peace. He observed how the bird, despite its pain, embodied a quiet resilience, a reminder of the natural cycles of life and the impermanence of all things. One evening, as Kavi sat beside the bird's nest under the soft glow of a crescent moon, a mischievous young novice monk named Jaya approached him. Jaya, known for his playful nature and irrepressible curiosity, had often admired Kavi's dedication, but had also teased him for his occasional lapses in composure. "Kavi," Jaya greeted with a mischievous grin, "you've been spending so much time with that bird. Do you think it will ever fly again?" Kavi looked up from his meditation, his eyes reflecting the quiet determination that had grown within him. "I believe it will," he replied softly. "But whether it does or not, it has taught me much about patience and compassion." Jaya's playful demeanor softened as he sensed the depth of Kavi's words. He sat down beside Kavi, his curiosity piqued. "How do you remain so calm, even when faced with uncertainty?" Jaya asked earnestly. Kavi smiled warmly, his gaze turning towards the sky where the stars twinkled like distant lanterns. "It is through practice," he explained, "and through understanding the nature of impermanence. When we accept that all things arise and pass away, we find peace in the midst of change." Jaya nodded thoughtfully, absorbing Kavi's wisdom. He had always admired Kavi's steadfastness, but now he began to glimpse the inner strength that came from embracing life's uncertainties with an open heart. Days passed, and the bird's wing gradually healed under Kavi's tender care. One morning, as Kavi gently lifted the bird from its nest to assess its progress, Jaya approached them with a mischievous glint in his eye. Without warning, Jaya playfully jumped in front of Kavi, startling him and causing him to drop the bird. For a fleeting moment, Kavi felt a surge of frustration and disappointment rise within him. He had invested so much of himself in caring for the bird, only to see it slip away. But then, as swiftly as the emotions had arisen, Kavi's mind turned to the teachings of Buddha that had guided him thus far. He took a deep breath, grounding himself in the present moment, and watched as the bird fluttered its wings and soared into the sky. Jaya, witnessing Kavi's calm demeanor amidst the unexpected turn of events, was struck by a newfound sense of admiration and respect. "Kavi," he said quietly, "how did you find such peace, even in letting go. Kavi lowered his gaze, his heart overflowing with gratitude for the lessons he had learned. Through practice, he replied gently. Every moment is an opportunity to observe our reactions and choose how we respond. By cultivating inner peace and understanding, we can face any situation with equanimity. From that day onward, Kavi continued his journey within the monastery, guided by the teachings of Buddha and the wisdom gained from his experiences. He became a source of inspiration for Jaya and the other novices, who sought his guidance in their own quests for inner peace. And so, in the tranquil monastery nestled amidst mist-covered mountains, the teachings of Buddha continued to flourish, embodied in the lives of monks like Kavi,